All right, testing 1 2, testing 1 2. All right, testing again, testing. Alright everyone, welcome back to another stream. Today it's going to be the PC version of Megaman X3. So I actually wasn't going to do a stream today, but I didn't do a stream on Thursday. I was on vacation from work this week, and I decided I was just going to take a break. You know, I've been streaming on Twitch all week, but Twitch is just, you know, casual for me. It's just what I do to kill time. But I had a pinball event on Thursday night. I ended up staying later than I normally do, which was good because I ended up winning and I got a little bit of money from it. And I didn't have to worry about doing my YouTube stream, you know, when I got home. I was able to just come home and relax and just chill out for the night. But I had a couple people reach out to me concerned because they're normally, like, I'm here every Thursday, like clockwork. So yeah, no, I'm alive. I'm not dead or anything. I'm good. I just wanted to take a break. I figured since I was off work all week, I'd take a break from YouTube as well. And, well, I didn't necessarily entirely take a break from YouTube because I did unbox my Mega SG, which I got in the mail on Monday, and I posted that video on Monday as well. Didn't actually post that early to patrons because I just wanted it up immediately because, you know, it was a sort of in-the-moment kind of video. I just did it right when I got it and then uploaded it right away. So, but yeah, for the most part, though, I've been trying to take a break from YouTube, and so that's why I wasn't here on Thursday. But the other reason we're doing this tonight is I actually beat this game yesterday on Twitch, start to finish. And since it's kind of fresh on the mind, I'm sort of well practiced at it. I figured, you know, kind of like Mega Man X4 last week, we'd go ahead and do Mega Man X3. So this is the PC version of the game. It came out in 1998 for Windows 95. Because it's Windows 95, it also works on Windows 98. Probably works fine on XP as well. Probably doesn't work on Windows 7 or 8 or 10. But I don't know. I haven't tested it. But yeah, it's a good port. It's based on the Saturn and PlayStation versions of the game, which were, you know, for us over here in North America, were basically import exclusives. They didn't come out over here. Not until actually the Mega Man X collection on PS2. I think that one was based on either the Saturn and PS1 versions or this version. It was probably based on this version, because this version has translated text, which the Saturn and PS1 versions do not. So I'm going to guess the Mega Man X collection one might be based on this, since it is translated, I believe. But But yeah, it's a solid port. If you play the PS1 or Saturn versions, or the version on the Mega Man X collection for PS2 or GameCube, it's basically the same thing. The perk is that if you're playing on a classic CRT VGA monitor like I am, it looks amazing. It's very, very sharp. It's like running an emulator, but you're not. It's so crisp. It's great. Also, the load time, at least on this machine, is pretty much non-existent. You'll see like the loading screen pop up for like just a few milliseconds, and it'll just disappear right away. So it's very snappy in that regard, which I really like. And yeah. Oh, as it was mentioned, Raymond actually talked about the cutscenes. This does have the cutscenes from the import console versions as well, which is pretty cool too. So. Now, because just like those versions, this game uses, I guess, the original Super Nintendo screen resolution, which is actually smaller than what the lowest resolutions were on PS1 and Saturn. There are big borders on the sides of the screen, so this game does not take up your full screen, which is why I've actually cropped it and added my own border on the stream here. So those little blue bars on the side, that's just to fill up the space. I had thought about stretching the gameplay, but it just looked unnatural to me. I don't like, sometimes I slightly deform my my captures just to fill up some space, but a little bit is fine. But if you have to like stretch it out like a couple inches on the screen, everything just looks out of whack, and it's just not that great. So yeah, we're keeping it at the original resolution here, or original aspect ratio, so everything should look how it is supposed to. So if you play the Saturn or PS1, well, I don't remember about the PS1 version, but the Saturn version, you actually have in-game borders to fill up the sides of the screen, so you don't have black bars on the sides. But if you play the actual Super Nintendo version, it's running at the lower resolution, so it actually fills up your whole screen. Yeah. So, all right. So yeah, because we're on my retro PC setup, it's not the most convenient to switch scenes and things like that, but I'll try to make do here. So I noticed we were getting a few dropped frames there for a little while, but I think we're going to be fine for the most part. I've got it set to locally record as well, just in case. And if we drop way too many frames, then I'll just upload the locally recorded version after. So, yeah, let's do the old Patreon shoutouts. No new patrons over this last week or so, but I appreciate everyone that is continuing to back my channel on places like Patreon. It really helps me out a lot. And just remember, if you do decide to back the channel on Patreon, you get some neat perks like being able to participate in Q&A sessions. I have a closed-off portion just for patrons on Discord. And you'll get my Let's Plays a couple weeks early for the most part. So, thanks everyone that is continuing to back the show on Patreon. If anyone's interested, links are in the description box below. Also, thanks to everyone that's been doing super chats. We got a couple on my Mega Man X4 stream from last week, so much appreciated to you guys that did that. Big shout out to Raymond Penland, who actually became a channel member today. Or it was last night, I think, according to YouTube. So thanks a ton, Raymond. Guys that want to support the channel at $5 a month, you can do that via the channel membership. You don't have to go through Patreon. You can do it straight through YouTube. And if you do that, you get some neat little G icons by your name in the chat and in my comment section, which is really cool. They actually pop up in the YouTube comment section. Also, you get to use those custom emotes. So the more channel members we get, the more custom emotes we get to use. So right now, since we have 5 people, I can use 6 emotes. And the more channel members we get, the more emotes I can add, which makes the live stream chats more fun. So. But yeah, thanks guys for that. Much appreciated. And just thanks to everyone that's just watching the channel, watching the videos. You guys don't have to support me monetarily, but I really appreciate when you do. But you don't have to. I just appreciate you guys being here and hanging out and being a part of my little community here. So, yeah, let's scroll through the chat real quick before I actually start playing. And so... Stop blabbing and get to the games. Sure. Chris Hendricks, what's going on? Steve Moran. Easter is just another day for me. It was fine. So, thanks for asking, though. Ants Arcade, welcome back. Chris Bennett. Carlos. And what was your name, Japanese text person? I totally forgot. But feel free to feel free to tell me again. I don't remember. Catherine, welcome back. Crestline, Manfred, how's it going, Manfred? And Akella. Akella typically gets notifications, but he didn't today. Yeah, YouTube's notification system is a little out of whack sometimes. It's not always functional. And it actually looks like that's it. So, and of course Raymond. So, yeah, thanks guys for hanging out. And with that, I guess we will start playing. So, and don't tell me to stop blabbing. Tell me to get to the games unless you want the boot. I'll be happy to give you the boot really quickly if you really want it. Just a couple clicks away. Just a couple clicks. We go click, and then we go click. Well, I'm not going to do that just yet. This is my channel. I got my setup here. I got my routine. We go through the routine every stream. So you do have some options here. I'm actually using a PS1 Classic USB controller, which works on my Windows 98 machine. I guess it's just basically recognizes just a standard USB controller, which is cool. And so everything's already configured. I have it set up like, I guess like the PS1 version would be. So we are doing that. So that's actually what's really cool about playing this PC version here is that, you know, it feels like the PlayStation version to me because I'm using basically a PlayStation controller. And that's pretty much it. You can load and save your games and whatnot, but we're going to go ahead and start a brand new game. So, oh, you bought yourself a Super NT for your birthday. Hell yeah, man, Fred. You're going to love that, man. It's fantastic. I'll go ahead and I'm going to let all the cutscenes roll out just because they're kind of cool. Hey, Aladar, welcome back, man. But yes, yeah, the cutscenes are actually kind of cool in this game. It is a nice bonus feature. Timu, hard mode is just the normal mode. Was there a difficulty select in the Super Nintendo one? And do you know if there was a difficulty select in the Saturn or PS1 versions? I don't remember. And I actually completely forgot something. I gotta go get my monster drink. I'll be right back. No difficulty selection. Okay, yeah, so, you know, I was wondering about that myself, personally, like, because Megaman X4 PC also had an easy mode added to it. Oh my god, I'm getting stuff stuck. Sorry, this was a last-minute ordeal, and I don't have my stuff set up perfectly right now, so I'm trying to get organized on the fly here. Okay, well that's really good to know. So yeah, I was actually meant to ask you, Timu, because Timu is a bit of our bit of the resident Mega Man expert, or Mega Man X expert, I should say. Would you classify yourself as a classic Mega expert or just an X expert, Timu? Or would you classify yourself as neither? But yeah, I meant to ask you about the difficulty selection, because, like, it didn't seem right to me, but I'm also not... Mega Man X3 is one of my least favorite Mega Man X games, and it's, as such, it's one of my Mega Man X games I put the least amount of time into. So I'm not entirely familiar with, like, its you know, difficulty setup and whatnot. But since X4 had an exclusive easy mode, I was wondering if maybe this one had an exclusive easy mode as well, so... You would say you're more of an expert on the X games, for sure. Okay. Hey, Clifton, how's it going, man? So, one of the gimmicks in this game is being able to switch up to 0, and this introduction stage sort of demonstrates that. I actually don't use Zero at all in this game. I feel like that's something I should experiment with. But the game is pretty easy to get through with just X. I haven't really ever found the need to play as Zero. So yeah, I just never bothered playing as Zero. Zero is kind of weird though, because you have to switch to him manually in the levels themselves, and I think when you switch back, you can't play as him again until you go to a new level. So it's like you can only switch to him once per level, and I don't think you can fight boss fights with Zero either. It's just, you know, when you get to the boss door, Zero teleports out and X teleports back in. Alpha AX says this game feels too spammy with enemies. Yeah, I don't really... I guess at certain parts, it can feel that way, and the big reason that is a problem is that when you push an enemy off the or if you just move barely off the screen after killing an enemy, they will respawn instantly. There's very little leeway with how enemies respawn in this game. Whereas in some of the other Mega Man X games, you know, they've always had a bit of a respawn problem, but like you'll have to push the screen off to the side a little bit farther in some X games than others. In Mega Man X3, like the second you push like the enemy spawn point off the screen, then you move the screen back over, the enemy is right back, and it's like you just killed them. And that can make the enemy layouts feel very spammy, and a little overwhelming at times. But when you get the hang of that, and you kind of realize that's something that happens a lot, you start to learn to play around that. One of the nice features about this is just like in the console versions, or Saturn and PS1 console versions, I should say, you can actually save your data. So you have 3 different save slots. And what I found interesting is that you have to make sure you wait for the text to stop, and then you have to hit the menu button to go to your save screen. I hit the menu button too early yesterday, and it actually just canceled it out, and it just put me right back into the gameplay. So, yeah, there are a couple of optional mini-bosses later on in the game. We're not going to be going for those guys. It requires you to kill these other mini-bosses that you'll experience a couple levels from now with, like, I think specific sub-weapons or something like that. We're going to start off on the Blizzard stage, because this is where we can get our dash boot upgrade, which will allow us to air dash and then dash vertically as well. And I definitely want that first, because it's going to be mandatory for certain upgrades and whatnot. This is the speedrun route? Well, yeah, I could imagine this being the speedrun route, because, you know, those boots are pretty important. But yeah, Timu is a Mega Man X speedrunner, and we are going to have to actually come back here, by the way, because I don't have my my mech upgrade yet. Those big ice blocks you can bash through with one of your mech upgrades, and that's where one of your heart tanks is. Heart tanks permanently increase your life bar. So Mega Man X3 has a lot of turret-based enemies, like those little guys we saw just shooting little bombs at us. We're going to see a lot of enemies like that over the course of this game. Fortunately, those guys aren't too bad to deal with, because you can usually kill them pretty quickly. And actually, I want to ask you guys about something. Maybe some of you guys out there know this. Maybe Timu knows this. Is these little things up top are sort of like security light beams or lights. I noticed, like, when I went to go get my my thumbnail capture today, that this area was lit up with lights from the top. And I don't know if that's because I defeated a certain Maverick, like, before coming to the stage. Is that a thing in this game? I didn't know that was a thing, if so. So this is also where a hidden teleportation pod appears. You can actually go and do a sort of an optional bonus stage. But we will do that. Clifton, I am not going to get the gold armor, but I will show you guys where the gold armor would be. Well, I don't know. I'll have to think about it, actually. I have to try to figure out if I really need the dash boot upgrade, which is what I went for yesterday. Alright, so this is where we get our boot upgrade. So it's actually a very tight little jump here. And look at how fast these guys respawn. It's just, you push them off the screen just barely. There we go. Second try. I got a first try yesterday. Hey, Chris Hendricks, welcome back, man. Alright, see you, Raymond. Take care, man. Have fun. Thanks again for joining up, man. And, yeah, enjoy. Archive will probably be posted sometime tomorrow, because I don't have a Let's Play due tomorrow. So, for anyone that misses this, yeah, we will, this will be uploaded tomorrow. So, or posted publicly tomorrow. Alright, so I want to come back here because there's an item upgrade. Oh, look, we just got an extra life. That's good, actually. This game is a little more stingy with extra lives than some of the other X games are, I've found, personally. So I'm going to come here, dash vertically, and there's our first sub-tank. So these are kind of treated like energy tanks from the classic Megaman series, except that you can fill them up manually. And you can use them again and again and again. And should probably try to grind out for health, but we'll just wing it. Hey, Red Zeo, welcome back, dude. We might be able to do this guy the first try. So a lot of the bosses in this game, it's just a matter of you dashing left, and then dashing right, and then dashing left, and then dashing right. And don't get me wrong, some of these bosses can be pretty dangerous. Like, probably the hardest part, with this guy, is him doing this attack right here. So you need to make sure you destroy those before you try to wall jump. Oh! I jumped way too early. I meant to wait. But I'm not really too worried about it because I got that extra life. So since we got that extra life, it's like we haven't lost any lives. I mean, we have, but, you know, we're at the same number as we started, so that's fine. Clifton picked up a couple of new board and card games. What games did you get? Alright, he's going to do a beam. So we can just sit up here. It's not really fast. It's actually pretty easy to avoid. You just have to listen for the sound cue. If you don't... Whoa! If you're not listening to the sound cue, then it's going to be a little more difficult to avoid it. He's doing it again. Hadouken! And there we go. Flawless victory. Fatality. There's a Dark Souls card game? Wow. It's interesting. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is go down to this guy so I can get the drill. The drill is needed to get a couple of upgrades. So we're going to do him next. What I love about playing this version of the game is it's so snappy. Like, you click a button, bam, right into the cutscene. If you play the Saturn and PS1 versions, there's so much loading, which made them kind of annoying to play, to be honest with you. I actually played through those versions for the first time last year, and I did a Let's Play of the Saturn version. And was it a Let's Play? It might have been a live stream. I don't remember. It was one or the other. And yeah, just playing through that game was a slog, because, you know, the load times, yeah, it's got a decent amount of load screens, and, you know, it really slowed down the pace of this game. It's one reason why the Super Nintendo version of X3 is better, in my opinion. It's just a snappier experience. It's just, there's basically no discernible load times. It's just very quick and snappy to get from one screen to the next, or from one, you know, from one level to the next and whatnot. There's our second sub-tank. And so, like, for this version of the game, you get the benefits. Well, benefits is subjective, because there are a lot of people that actually don't like the changes in the PS1 and Saturn versions, like the different music, you know, for instance. But if you like those additions, if you like those modifications, this is the best version to play. It's just, you know, it's got, you know, that nice sharp look of those, you know, the 32-bit console versions. It's got the updated music, it's got the full motion video. But it also lacks the load times of those. So you get that snappy Super Nintendo-like progression. I still think the Super Nintendo X3 is the best way to experience the game, because, well, for one, the screen actually fills your whole TV, and that's actually a big improvement right there. But I also like how the music sounds on the original game. I find that the more grungy guitar music that you got with X1 and X2 fits the series much better than this, in some cases, what actually sounds like elevator music. I'm gonna actually try to jump over this thing, but fail. Every time this guy slams against the wall, he knocks you down. This was actually probably one of the tougher mini-bosses for me to get used to when learning this game last year. And I actually mistimed that. I keep mistiming it. I keep jumping too early. You notice that I rely on my charge attack a lot. God, I missed it again. Okay, we got him. Jeez, that was pathetic. That was really bad, actually. Hey, a little more arts guy. No problem, man. My break was good. Not the most exciting staycation, but I got a lot of stuff done that I've been needing to catch up on for a while. So it's good. It was good. You should play some X3, Timu. What am I doing? This is weird. I felt like it was eating my inputs. That was odd. Clifton says this is the version he grew up playing. So I actually had this version back in the day. You know, a lot of these... Capcom had a lot of PC ports of their console games back then that a lot of people actually don't really know about. I actually ended up owning most of them back then. Like, I owned both Street Fighter Alpha 1 and 2. I own Mega Man X1, 3, and 4. I bought the Super Street Fighter 2 pack on PC, which is basically a port of the Super Nintendo version of the game. There's Super Puzzle Fighter 2. There are a bunch of Resident Evil games, Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3. You know, they all got PC ports back then. And no one bought them. And so they got budgeted out really quickly. They were all like $10 a piece when I got them. And, so yeah, so I had a lot of them back then, but you know what's funny? I didn't play many of them. Like, I had them because they were cheap, but I didn't really get into them. And, you know, at the time, I hadn't played X3 before. We never had the Super Nintendo version of the game. But I had the PC version. And I tried to play it. I tried to get into it. I would get a couple levels in, and it just never clicked with me. And it wasn't until this about a year ago that I buckled down and I said, okay, I have to beat this game. And I did it via the Saturn version of the game instead. But it actually would have been a lot better to just beat this version back in the day, because, you know, again, all those perks I was talking about, faster load times and things like that. Yeah, Clifton, I don't like how the game only allows you to use one chip. I think I said that was a poor mechanic. I think it would have been better if you could just give the player all the chips. Like let them equip all of them. Maybe make them a little more difficult to find, you know? Since they're really good items. I don't know, I just for one, it was confusing on a first playthrough. It was very confusing finding those pink capsules and not really understanding what their purpose was. Although, to be fair, I was playing the Japanese Saturn version, so that didn't help. Because I'm pretty sure all the text in that game was Japanese. And if you get to a pink capsule in the English version, it actually tells you, okay, these capsules are for specific upgrades, and then Dr. Light will tell you, okay, you don't have the existing upgrade you need to be able to even be able to use this. But still, I definitely think they could have done a better job with implementing that. It's also really annoying when, like, you spend the time finding an upgrade and, you know, like, you use your ingenuity to get to an area that's really difficult to get to, and you expect to be rewarded, but instead you're just turned away. You're like, oh, no, you're not good enough. You can't. You know, you were good enough to get here, which is hard enough as is, but no, you're still not good enough to actually take the upgrade. That's like a slap to the face. It's like a virtual slap to the face. It's not any fun. It's not good game design. Leon, welcome back. Hey, Solid Nate. Timo likes to play X3 bootless. Oh, so you mean just don't even get the boot upgrade at all? I'll have to try that. That would be interesting. So these platforms here, these are where you activate your mechs, and we haven't gotten a mech yet. But since we got that drill power up, we will be able to get the mech on this stage, which is why I'm actually at this level. So I oftentimes grind out right here for health to fill my my sub-tanks. Also, I believe one of your hidden capsules is actually up top here. But we're not going to get that one. We're actually, you know, come to think of it, I might actually just show you guys the gold armor. Since Clifton mentioned it, I didn't get the gold armor yesterday when I played this on Twitch. Like, I'm going ahead and doing this right now because we're going to have to do it anyway later on, just to make life easier. So since I'm here, I might as well build the sub-tanks I have. And we're probably actually almost done already. Yep, that's it. Yep, they're both filled. So when your sub-tanks are full completely, you won't actually hear a noise when you pick up a health power-up. Now, keep in mind, your health bar has to be full for health energy to be applied to your sub-tanks. And this is a mini-boss here. Oh, that's right, icing them. I forgot about that. I actually meant to ask you on Discord, Timu, because I think you were helping me out a little bit when I was playing this for the first time last year. Oops, I meant to dash, and I didn't dash in time. Yeah, I thought there was a way to get enemies to drop health easier, and I guess it's just using ice. So that's good to know. Yeah, Mega Man X2 with its, yeah, you could get to little bonus rooms in Mega Man X2 that would just, pretty much give you all of your sub-tank energy immediately. Yeah, I'm not a fan of how they implemented Zero. Personally, like, it's cool that you can play as Zero because he's Zero. Zero's really cool. Extra life, cool. But, you know, it is what it is. I kind of look at it as, well, they got it right in X4, at least, you know? Where X and Zero were basically just different ways to play the game. And I think that's a much better way to implement multiple characters like that. Especially since they both have pretty different gameplay styles. You know, in this game, Zero is different, but Zero can also shoot still, so he has that long-range advantage. So they're not as different from one another as you would probably like. In X4, Zero and X are like night and day. It's great. You know, it adds a lot of replay value. Lots of replay value. So, man, talking about X4, I want to play that now. Sounds a lot like its Extreme 2 counterpart in the GBC. When did Mega Man Extreme 2 come out? Didn't that actually come out after these ports of X3? Extreme 2 is actually kind of a late release game. Game Boy Color, I think. I need to play through both Extreme 1 and Extreme 2, by the way. I totally forgot about those games, and I've never beaten them, but I need to. They actually seemed pretty fun when I played them a long time ago. Yeah, 2002. Okay, I was gonna say. Yeah, that's actually many years after this. I mean, this Windows 95 version of X3 came out in 98. Oh, 2001? Still a few years later. Alright, so Timu says ice. Let's ice these guys. Interesting. I like. See, that's actually a really good mechanic to know. Now, if only ice was actually better than it is. It's so slow. It's ridiculously slow. Yeah, that's very good to know, though. Just like a lot of other Mega Man games, I don't really use the sub-weapons very often. Mega Man on Game Gear, yes, I do want to do that, Chris, actually. And since I have the Sega Mega, or Analog Mega SG now, I can play and stream Game Gear games and capture them. Which I actually did quite a bit this week. I'm already thinking about getting prepped for a couple of Game Gear Let's Plays. And this guy is trolling me. He doesn't normally troll me like this. Holy crap, dude. Some of the bosses in this game are just really, really annoying. You'll fight them one time, they'll be insanely easy, and then the next time they give you the worst patterns possible. Yeah, it would be nice if Capcom re-released their classic Mega Man handheld games, but they haven't. There was supposed to be a collection in the early 2000s for Game Boy Advance. It was going to be a Mega Man Anniversary Collection, but for the Game Boy games. And it would be on Game Boy Advance, and it got canceled for some reason, and I have no idea why. We're going to go ahead and use the sub-tank, because I suck at video games. I don't remember Mega Man on Game Gear being bad. I mean, I think the biggest issue was the screen size. But that aside, I mean, I thought the gameplay was fine. I don't know, maybe I'm misremembering, but I remember playing it back in the day, and it seemed pretty fun still. Yeah, but the thing about Mega Man on Game Gear is its level design isn't, like, nasty like Mega Man and Bass is, or Mega Man and Bass is. I don't know why I always say Bass. It's not Bass, it's Bass. Yeah, I mean, like, the classic original Mega Man level design is not very trollish, you know? Whereas Mega Man Bass's level design is insanely trollish and not very fun, to be frank. Especially on the Game Boy Advance, where the screen is just scrunched in like crazy. You always say bass too, like the fish. Yeah, a lot of people make that mistake. It is bass, but yeah, I just, you know, yeah, it is what it is. Alright, so what we're gonna do is go get our, we're gonna get our arm cannon upgrade. Well, Mega Man on DOS isn't that bad either. When you... from the perspective of what other MS-DOS platformers were like at the time, it's not really a bad game. Now, as a Mega Man game, yeah, it's probably a bad Mega Man game. But it's still a fully playable game. I actually played it a lot as a kid. And I liked it. And what's nice about Mega Man DOS is at least it's a brand new game. You know, whereas something like Castlevania DOS is just a port of, you know, the existing game. So, yeah, it's neat. It's fine for what it is. I'm gonna let's play the DOS Mega Man eventually, by the way. You guys will see that on this channel. Okay, so I wanted to come here next because we got the drill upgrade. Yeah, Leo, there is a Game Gear Mega Man. So we basically needed the boot upgrades, or boots upgrade to get here. The first two Street Fighter games, yeah. Oh, those Street Fighter ports were pretty terrible, though. Yeah, MS-DOS Street Fighter 2 is absolutely awful. Street Fighter 1, most ports of that game were bad to begin with. But to be fair, that game was bad to begin with. Even the arcade version. Yeah, I actually owned both Mega Man and Mega Man 3 on MS-DOS, or for MS-DOS back in the day. So I have a soft spot for them. The first one in particular, I don't think Part 3 is as good as Part 1 because the level design is just very, 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 very open and monotonous. Whereas Mega Man 1 is just super linear, like a classic Mega Man game. So this is another mini-boss. And since we upgraded our arm cannon, we can charge it up multiple times. I like charging it up all the way. Or just charging it up to the second level, which is like your normal full charge. I don't like level 3. It's too slow. It goes like that, and then you can do another shot. But the second shot is pretty weak. Whereas, when you charge up all the way, both shots are fairly powerful. But you can also tap the buttons rapidly like that, and you'll do a big sort of burst spread shot. Yeah, well, I don't... Yeah, so stuff like that, Crestline, I try to play in EGA when available, and VGA is preferable, obviously. But Mega Man MS-DOS came out at a time where VGA was less common. Alright, so we actually have one of our mech upgrades, so... This is the mech upgrade I'm going to use the most over the course of the game. You got the Buster upgrade without the boots. How did you do that? Did you just dash normally? I tried that yesterday and I couldn't get it. Hey, John Evan, welcome back. Good to see you. Yeah, that's the only way you could do it, I'm guessing. I tried doing that team mode. It's extremely tight. I wasn't able to get it. So one strategy on this boss, too, is just to keep sort of tapering your shots and just hitting him one block of health at a time. His patterns are very erratic. He blocks your shots, too. See, kind of like this. And then he can charge up like that, too. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. I dashed the wrong way. The iceless jump in X1 is much tighter. Really? I figured it was about the same. John Evans says he watched Avengers Endgame. It was worth the wait. You get a weapon that you're not going to use. Alright, so let me think where I want to go now. So we got the arm cannon upgrade. So that means I can do some other things now, which is good. One thing I am going to do is come back here so we can get that heart tank. And then I think Vial might actually be open now, so we can go do that too. But yeah, since we got the boot upgrade too, we actually climb ladders faster, which is kind of nice. But you know, there aren't a ton of ladders in this game, so it's not really a big thing. It's a little thing. Alright, so we got a heart tank. Our health bar is slowly extending. It is nice and crisp, John. It is, yeah, a very sharp-looking game on PC. Yep, there we go. Alright, so now we get to go fight Vial. And I believe this is completely optional. It's just kind of fun to do, you know? I like to just dash over these guys. They're just so annoying to fight. You need to kill Vial to get the saber. Oh, okay. Yeah, but I'm not getting that, so... I don't even think I've ever gotten that. So Vial actually has two phases. First one here is just this. Oops. And now we're going to fight him by himself. Sans mech suit. There we go. All right. So now we have to just escape. And so there's going to be a timer. Free extra life. Alright, so this part's a little tricky. You need to try not to touch these things, or if you do, you have to dash immediately. You can actually sort of get caught on them while you're dashing, and you'll just end up falling to your death. It's really weird. And that is that. We actually don't need to be here anymore. So we did what we needed to do. So we can go ahead and use the quick exit now. So that unlocks after you beat a stage. So we'll go ahead and save it again. Favorite boss in the game? None. They all kind of suck. I don't know. I actually like the bit and bite combination battle later on in the game. But, man, I really don't know where I want to go now. It actually, honestly, doesn't even really matter. I think I'm going to save this level probably for later. Yeah, we'll go do this guy so we can try to get some upgrades. This is actually probably my least favorite boss in the game, though. He's got a second phase that just boggles my mind. I don't even know how you're supposed to deal with it. So I just used the weakness against him. I'm currently playing Salamander on PS4. Cool. Yeah, I have that as well on PS4, Arcade Archive. I actually picked up the Konami Arcade collection, which came out a week or two ago on Xbox One and other platforms as well. I actually had a lot of those games already as Arcade Archives on PS4, but the collection itself had a couple of extra games on it. Oops! Stupid charge attack, man. Yeah, I actually really don't like the upgraded charge in this game. I think it's really cumbersome, and it's really slow, and it's not fun to use at all. I think it's terribly implemented. And if you're dumb like me and you just hold your charge, you can actually get stuck having to spend your time unleashing your shots, which can get you killed. I really dislike it. I think it's a really terrible mechanic. It just feels awful. If something feels bad, like, it shouldn't be there. Like, as a game developer, like, you need to make things feel smooth and fluid. And this is anything but that. Alright, so I wanted to come up here because... Oof! Okay, see, that was even more so my fault. Yeah, Timu, I was gonna say that, is like, I'd like to try this without getting everything, like without going for 100%. Because the game seems like it would probably be a lot more interesting. And you would just be able to use your base buster shot, you know, charge shot. None of this 4-level upgrade nonsense. And it's not that, like, upgrading 4 times is bad. It's just the way the shots come out is bad. It's not like the concept of charging up 4 times is awful or anything. It's just that it's so sluggish. And for how slow it is, it's not even that powerful. So not only does it not feel good, but it also isn't super effective, you know? It's not as effective as you would expect for having to charge up that many times. So we're gonna have to come back to this level later too. This game has a lot of that. So like this is the part we're gonna have to come back to. And that's where our armor upgrade is. Hey, Dave, yes. Yep, there is a PC version. There's actually a PC version of Mega Man's X1, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I think even 7. 6 and 7, I believe, are Korean only. I thought they were more modern, like 6 and 7, I thought they were more modern ports. But no, they're actually officially licensed Capcom port, or officially licensed ports from back in the day. Not done by Capcom, but done by some other entity. If anyone can ever track down one of those copies of X6 relatively cheap, please point me in that direction, because I would like to try it. I've heard bad things about it, but I'm willing to try it. But yeah, we did Mega Man X4 on PC last week. I'm going to try to get a copy of X5 sometime in the future. Trying to figure out if I want to just spring for a US version, or if I want to get one of the cheaper Japanese versions of it. Yeah, I thought X8 was on PC, but I couldn't find any for sale, which made me want, like, maybe start to doubt whether it was actually on PC or not. I'll master less of Alien, the Japanese version. Okay, so what we're gonna do here is actually switch over to this guy's weakness, because this is easily the most annoying boss fight in the game for me, personally. Fortunately, this sub-weapon doesn't really use up a lot of ammo. And this is his second phase I was talking about. There we go. Yeah, so Timo, I'll definitely have to try to do a bootsless and busterless run of this game. Well, I guess that technically also means no armor and no helmet. And, at least I'll still be able to get most of the heart tanks. Yes, I have, Leo. I did it on Twitch the other night. I did it on Thursday night. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. Alright, so let's go back here. So since we've got the Buster upgrade, we can now blast our way to another heart tank, as well as the helmet upgrade. Alright. So we have to use the weapon that we just got here. Charge it up! This is so cryptic. How you're supposed to figure this out on your own, I have no idea. Especially considering those rocks are held up by ropes. With ropes, you'd think you'd be able to cut through them. Or drill through them. I don't know. That would make too much sense. But no, you have to charge up an electrical blast that makes the rocks fall. This was, of all the Megamans I've played, I would say, I don't know, this might compete with X6 in that regard. I'd say this was the least intuitive X game to figure out, like, where the items were on my own. Skipping the Doppler 2 elevator without the boots. Yeah, I don't even know about skipping it. Alright, same thing here again. Oh, you do a damage boost, climb off the spikes. Oh, I know what elevator you're talking about. Yeah. Primacord? What's Primacord? Or Primacord? Yeah, so the helmet upgrade here will basically show you a map at the beginning of each stage, and items that you haven't gotten yet will appear as little red dots on that map. So that's actually kind of nice. But you have to first figure out that you have to charge that attack to make those rocks go away before you can even get that upgrade. So the upgrade is a little less useful than it normally probably should be. Okay, I'm trying to figure out where I want to go next. Alright, we'll go here next. Explosive core that detonates along its entire length. It's detonated by electricity. Huh, interesting. Alright, so we're going to come down here first. And here's another cryptic thing. Oops. Charge up again, but right here. And there we go. So we actually got the H suit, the H mech. But we're going to use the regular in mech. I guess it stands for normal? I don't know. Oops! Crap. Well, we have to do it again. Let's try that one more time. Alright, so with this mech, we have to bash through a wall, I believe, to get another heart tank. Oh, very nice, Manfred. Yeah, I love Pinball Arcade, man. We were actually playing that on Xbox One the other night. We actually played a lot of it the other night. Okay, so you can fall down here, and this is where you get one of the other chip upgrades. But again, we're not going to bother with it. As our mech despawns. It's okay, this is going to be a mini-boss here, I believe. Oh, he's not. He didn't appear. Okay. Yeah, that is a shame, Leo. I really don't like the Zen physics, man. You know, I've put a good bit of time into their collection of Williams tables. I really don't like how the physics work in that. It's... You know, both Zen Pinball and Pinball Arcade, you know, they've got their downsides with how the physics are handled, but I feel like Pinball Arcade is just more controllable overall, which I think is better. A lot of the ball, like, bouncing movement in the Zen physics doesn't make sense. Like, are they trying to recreate real physics or not? Like, I don't understand it. It feels even less intuitive and less natural than the Pinball Arcade physics. So... And it's a shame because their engine arguably looks better. And it's just a major bummer too, because now we're like there are going to probably eventually be Williams tables on the Zen engine that aren't on Pinball Arcade, and then you're going to have multiple libraries of the same pinball machines for the most part, with just a handful of weird exclusives. It's just an annoying situation. Very, very annoying. Zen is not doing anyone, you know, a service by jacking the license and oh, never mind. I don't need to rant about pinball games on a Mega Man stream. I really don't. H is hare, says Chris, and K is kangaroo. F is frog, yeah. Yeah, I did know about frog. Yeah, frog is actually necessary for one of the upgrades. So this guy shoots these projectiles that'll sort of like grab you and bring you down to the ground. I just go ahead and touch them because it at least gives me a clean shot with my you know, my charge shot. Kind of like so. If you sit behind this guy, he jumps back like that, and he does a lot of damage when that happens. Ooh, that hurts. Yeah, good fight. You need to get, but yeah, I mean, yeah, get the Mega Man collections. Why not? I recommend the X Legacy collection on modern consoles. It's very low on the input lag. It looks great. And you get all 8 Mega Man X games. Oh, yeah, no, Tima, you're talking the charged ice. Yeah, no, I like to get that upgrade, I guess the more normal way, per se. Where you have to hop along the top of the water. It's just more fun to me. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Alright, let's do this one, I guess. I don't recommend avoiding X6. I like X6 a lot. X7, yes, X7 is... Ugh. I don't know what they were thinking with that one. X6 is one of those games where it's an acquired taste, but once you acquire the taste, I think it's a great game. Well, great is kind of, you know, strong words, but it's highly enjoyable for certain types of players. Part of that is that X6 is a much greater challenge than most other X games, and so that for me is pretty important. If you play X6, do not play as Unarmored X. That is my advice to anyone getting into that game. It's a mistake I think a lot of players make. Yeah, do not play as Unarmored X. Only do it if you're a masochist like Timu. This is like the easiest heart tank to get out of like any Mega Man game. It's just there. It's just chilling. It's not hidden by anything. It's not sitting on top of lava or spikes. Alright, so this is Bite. And he's got some pretty annoying attacks, honestly. So basically what I'm going to do is try to dash against the wall. This little thing he uses sort of sucks you into it. It's really awkward. And actually, it doesn't suck you into it. It kind of like pushes you off the wall a little bit. It's kind of awkward. So what I like to do is dash back into the wall. Kind of like this, and then dash to the other side. But you don't want to be on the wall when he touches it, because he'll knock you down. If you haven't beaten Beetle, there's a box blocking the heart. Oh, I see. I didn't know that, Timo. Alright, there we go. We got the frog suit. Or the frog mech. Alright, we just filled up another sub-tank. Oh, Hornet. Okay. Yeah, no, we did Hornet. Okay, so this doesn't really matter. But we'll go ahead and pick one of these anyway. Actually, this does matter if you want to get one of the capsules. I think one of the pink capsules is here. Yeah, so you'd bust through this, and there it is. But, like I said, we're not going to get the pink capsules. We're going to just go straight for the gold armor. Which I appreciate Clifton reminding me of that, because I wasn't planning on going for the gold armor. I was just going to do exactly what I did on Twitch yesterday, which was get the boot upgrade. I think that's probably the most valuable upgrade, because you can air dash twice. And you can even air dash again after you dash off a wall. So you could dash off the wall and then air dash vertically like that, which gives you a lot of flexibility. Start with 11 on Switch? No, I would start with the original games. I wouldn't start with 11. I would play 11 much later after you've played a lot of the old games, and then I think Mega Man 11 is easier to appreciate, knowing where the series has come from. That's just me personally. Oh man, these are some bad bounces. Oh, I didn't even see On Mayor was out there. Hey, welcome back, man. Long time no see. Hey, Andy, welcome back. Yeah, Mega Man 2 is a very good start. I would highly recommend that. Yeah. So he's going to have a second phase where he makes this sort of black hole appear. There it is. You can dash under it, like so. Flawless victory. I've been playing for a little over an hour, Andy. By the way, don't listen to Timu. If for some reason he's got a personal vendetta against Mega Man 2, I normally respect his opinion, but don't listen to him when it comes to Mega Man 2. Start with Mega Man 2. That's what most of us started on back in the day, and if it wasn't for Mega Man 2, most of us probably wouldn't appreciate the series like we do today. Did Mega Man 2 offend him? I don't know. Okay, so let's go back and get the body part. Yes, it did offend him. Oh, man. So I was gonna say I should probably get these. Oh, never mind. I've actually got all my sub-tanks filled. Oh, geez, the respawning. Okay, so now we charge up this weapon. There it is. Yeah, see, I don't agree with that statement, though, Timu. Like, I think in some cases that phenomenon is absolutely true, but it's not true with Mega Man 2. I mean, all you have to do is just look at all of its elements. And that's it. It's super obvious why people like it. It's not one of those things people like just because it's cool to like. It's people like it because it's actually a very well-made game. And very well-made games speak for themselves. You know, all the Mario games are the same way. Mega Man 2 is just extremely well crafted. And it's as simple as that. There's no more, no less. Looks good, sounds good, feels good. Has a smooth difficulty curve. Memorable music. It's the whole package. Hey, Tony, welcome back. You've never finished the X games. Well, you should at least finish the first one, not Timo. I was about to say Timo. Yeah, Timo's never played an X game before. Andy, you should definitely play at least the first Mega Man X and finish it. It only takes like an hour and a half. It's not very long. On a first playthrough, it'll take you a couple hours, but it's fun. Easy to figure out where the hidden items are. It's got a smooth difficulty curve. It's great. Hey, Internet Junkie. I know of Godzilla on Super Nintendo, but I have not played it. All I know is that it's a bit of a strategy game. I think I actually just offended Temu by saying he's never played X1. I have actually legitimately offended him. I don't generally thank people that ask for thanks in return. You didn't even give me time to thank you, by the way. So thanks, I guess. But cool. Oh, I didn't offend Timo. Damn. Man. I'm not doing something right here. Doing everything wrong. But do tell us more about Godzilla on Super Nintendo. I'm gonna actually try to, one of my buddies that I grew up with, Mark, that tunes into our streams a lot. He's a huge Godzilla fan, Godzilla movie fan. And he introduced me to the NES Godzilla games growing up. And I've always wanted to do a playthrough of the first Godzilla here, probably on live stream. Okay, I actually don't want to go down this way. This mech, though. It's something alright. Big Toho fan. Okay, very cool. Okay. So your boots upgrade, your boots chip is here, but I'm not going to use it. So the timing with this is a little tight. You need to jump right as you hit the water. There we go. Okay. Alright, and that's it. So, let me just fall back down. But what Temu was talking about earlier is you can actually select ice and fully charge it up like this. And then just sit on top of it. Just like that. So, Timo, did you say there was a box here? If you don't beat one of the guys first? That's really trollish. Alright, there's going to be a mini-boss here as well. By the way, the checkpoint is all the way back near the beginning. Even after you beat this mini-boss. You would think, in any normal circumstance, the checkpoint would be after the mini-boss. Nope. It doesn't work like that in this game, apparently. Mega Man X3 is apparently too good for quality checkpoints. Oh, the Heart and the Beatles stage. Gotcha. Okay. For Super Godzilla, you basically control Godzilla, move in an overhead map to the pink dot. Okay, I'll have to fire that up sometime. I've always seen screenshots, and it was a game that was actually fairly common back in the day too, because I think it got a Majesco re-release very, very late into the Super Nintendo's life. So it's actually a pretty common game. By the way, don't just drop down here. I did that yesterday, and I just landed on those spikes. And that's how I found out about the checkpoint. I was a little annoyed, to say the least. I feel like for some of these bosses, it's just easier to just do what Timu says. Use your lemons. Don't even bother charging. They've got so many attacks that block your shots. And there's nothing like having your freaking charge shot be blocked. I remember those games. Yeah, no, I haven't played them, though. There's a fun quick kill for Seahorse where you can just mash him to death with ice. His iframes are also busted just like Tiger and Crawfish. Okay. Mage loves the music in this game. Well, you definitely need to play these games then. If you like this music, definitely need to play them. Yeah, I saw that, Andrew. You said that twice now. I read the chat. I might not respond to everything, but I read it. I have eyes, and I do look at the chat. He takes damage 60 frames a second. What do you mean by that? Oh, you mean he's... that's weird. So if you're using ice... he's just taking damage the second he's allowed to. Yeah, there is a GBA Godzilla game, yeah. I remember when that came out. Alright. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't think there's anything else for me to get. Yeah, so the question mark is for the pink capsule, which we're not getting any of. And so yeah, it looks like we've gotten everything. We've got max heart tanks as well. After you damage him with ice and he's in the air, as he lands, his iframes are broken into the opposite of what they are intended to do. So there's a period where he takes damage. Yeah, I don't know what you mean by 60 FPS, though. That doesn't make any sense. Makes zero sense to me, Timo. Explain the logic behind that terminology. Must be some speedrun lingo I don't know about. You gotta watch out for these spiked ceilings. They'll never come down and crush you completely. Oh my god, really? They'll never crush you completely, but you have to watch out for them. You'll die instantly. Dr. Kane's last appearance, not counting Maverick Hunter X. Oh yeah, he is in Maverick Hunter X, isn't he? I haven't played that game in a long time. I need to do that so we can do a live stream of that game. Or a Let's Play, I don't know. Maverick Hunter X might be short enough to where I can just do a Let's Play of it. Ooh, that was close. Yeah, I still don't think that that's good terminology, though, Timo. I mean, you just say he's constantly available to damage or something. I don't know. He's open to damage. It's a great remake of a game that didn't really need one. Yeah, it didn't need a remake, but I do enjoy it. It is a fun remake. Alright, so we're going to have to make sure that we have full health here coming up. I believe that's how it works. You need full health, and you also need, you need all your sub-tanks filled. I think that's... I don't know. Maybe you guys can clarify for me. Will the capsule appear if I don't have full health? It's down here. You hug the wall. And there it is. Katana Zero. Yeah, I never heard of it. Sub-tanks don't need to be full, but yeah, you need to be at full health. Oh, okay. Well, that's good to know then. Yes, I know all those games, Andrew. Legends, I haven't really played much of. No, the Legend series, I haven't played much of at all. I played them a little bit back in the day. I didn't really like them as a classic Mega Man fan, but I want to play them again eventually. What's interesting about these spike balls is you can actually destroy them with the mech. I actually found that out yesterday when I was playing. That was pretty cool. Oh, you need all armor parts and all right armors as well. Okay. Okay, so I need to make a disclaimer here. I have to fight this boss a very specific way, because if he does a specific attack, the game will crash. We experienced that yesterday, and it took us multiple tries to figure out what the issue was. So that is one problem with this game. I don't know if it's because I'm running on Windows 98 or if there's a driver problem or something like that. But if anyone watching this that has played this version, if you have experienced the crash before, please let me know. But we're going to go ahead and just try to stay on the front here. Yeah, now we can actually dash both ways. I mean, not both ways, but twice in the air. So you can actually get behind him, but when you get behind him, he has a tendency of doing this attack where he makes these two energy balls appear. And when those energy balls appear, the game has a heart attack, apparently. There we go. Ever thought about streaming the Mega Man games for Game Boy? Not really, because I've done Let's Plays of a bunch of them. But it could make for a fun singular stream. But I probably won't do something like that until I actually finish all the Game Boy games as Let's Plays. I need to do Mega Man 4 and 5 still. But I've got Let's Plays of Mega Man's 1, 2, and 3 on Game Boy. Alright, so we're actually nearing the last stretch of the game. I guess let's go ahead and we'll do this one again since he can hover. It's right, Nist. I got the gold armor this time. I wasn't going to, but I, you know, someone brought it up in chat. And I was like, you know, well, we can get the gold armor. Sure. It's like, I really don't need the pink capsule upgrades until the end of the game. It depends on what you know, or like, you know, how do you play the game. For me, it's about a 2-hour game. 2 to 2.5 hours. On a first playthrough, if you don't know where everything is, it could be 4 to 5, maybe 6 hours. As you try to figure things out. You'll probably have to refer to a walkthrough to figure some things out. Alright, so I think this is the elevator part Timu was talking about earlier. So this is actually kind of a tricky part. You know, you have to dash over to the next platform. I don't like getting the Z-Saber. I've never gotten the Z-Saber. Mega Man X3 is my least... Well, of the first 6 Mega Man X games, it's my least familiar one. I'm not an expert at this game by any stretch. So if you say something like, you don't do this, it's like, no I don't, because I probably don't know it. Or even if I do, I probably just don't even care. I mean, as you can see, I'm not even using my sub-weapons. You know, I'm just playing this very basic, which is how I actually play most Mega Man games. Brad, yeah, there are a lot of really tight jumps on Mega Man 3 for Game Boy. I really don't like that game at all. There's some really, really bad design choices on that version of the game, which makes it not very fun to play, if you ask me. They took what was good level design in Mega Man 3 and Mega Man 4 and turned it into crappy level design. Let's take good levels and strip out all the good qualities and leave all the bad qualities. Alright, so we get to fight Vile again, but in a much bigger room. Oh, nice. Mega Man Zero Collection. Hell yeah. Congrats on that. That's a good way to play those games. Yeah, so I played a little bit of Mega Man 4 on Game Boy last year, and I think I got about halfway through, and I was actually pretty impressed by it. Like, it plays really well. The level design felt really solid. It wasn't super trollish like Mega Man 3 was on Game Boy. And, yeah, no, it seemed pretty good. So I need to get back to that sometime soon, too. So Vile right here is basically the same as he was earlier. It's just he can now do a freeze attack. That's it right there. He freezes you and then will pretty much hit you guaranteed. See, like that. And that's it. Yeah, Timu was actually talking about Mega Man 5 on Game Boy just randomly out of the blue. I think a couple weeks ago on my Discord. And he said it was really good. And I've heard good things about it, but yeah, I've never actually played that one myself. Alright, so this is where the boss rush is going to be. Yeah, Mega Man 5 on Game Boy is all new bosses, which is interesting. I'm glad they went that route. You know, the formula for the early Mega Man games on Game Boy was fine, but it got a little tiresome. Where half the bosses were bosses from the original game that, you know... the original numbered release on NES, and then the second half of the bosses would be from the next numbered release. Why don't I play the Steam version of X Collection? Because I don't have it, and I don't know why I would play that. The reason I'm playing this is because a lot of people haven't seen the PC version. This is the original 1998 PC version of the game, running on original hardware. Anyone can go play the X Collection, but not anyone can go play this. And if I really wanted to play the X Collection, I would play it on PS4. I would not play it on Steam. I had actually thought about trying to do the X Collection, or doing maybe like the X Challenge or something like that. But I'm going to have to put more time into that and practice it. I did want to revisit Mega Man X6, but I kind of want to try to track down that supposedly crappy Korean PC version of it. So what did you say here, Timu? Was it ice? Yeah, I know. So basically when his iframes are done, he can be hit immediately. It's just, that's the sort of thing. Yeah, I totally understand that mechanic. It's just the way you explained it was weird. And as he lands, you mash. No, during his iframes. Okay. X3 Zero Project Hack. I have no idea what that is. What is that? It's like a version of X3 where you only play as Zero. Did not mean to do that attack. Let go of my charge too early. There we go. For as long as his iframes last, you can damage him with every shot. Okay. It's basically a definitive version of X3 that allows you to play as Zero anytime, even at bosses, and use the boss's powers. Interesting. Yeah, I might look into it eventually. I have no way of playing it right now, though. I don't do emulation. So I'd have to get a SD to SNES flash card to be able to play it. Assuming it's an actual Super Nintendo ROM hack. Yeah, X2 and X3, they don't work on the original Super EverDrive, which is what I have. SD to SNES has FPGA that can support those custom chips, but not my old Super EverDrive. Gonna make Zero playable on X2. That could be interesting. It's pretty flawed. Are you talking the Zero hack for X3, Timo? Yeah, I mean, it sounds cool for people that are really big fans of this game. I mean, me, I'm not really a big fan of this game, so I wouldn't really care that much to try it. But yeah, for big fans of this game, I think it sounds like a really cool hack. Yeah, I mean, still, I mean, you guys know I'm not the biggest fan of this game, but it's really great being able to stream the actual, you know, PC version from back in the day. It's something that a lot of people probably haven't seen, and we even had a few people tonight tune in and be like, oh, I didn't even know there was a PC version of this game. And I'm not talking the Legacy Collection, I mean from back in the day. You know, this is 1990s right here. And I'm getting wrecked by this guy. It's very smooth, Tony. It's very smooth, yeah. Well, I mean, so, MCDB, Timu speedruns the Mega Man X games, so he kind of looks at things a little bit differently. You know, he's always looking at them from, like, a speedrunner's perspective. So, he's gonna find things that you probably won't. Just his nature, you know? Is the lemon tank different from the Saturn and PS1 versions? I thought it was the same sound effects. I know the Super Nintendo sound effects are different. Alright, I believe that's it. And we're going to be able to fight Doppler himself now. And he's got a gimmick. He's not really a hard boss, but he does have a gimmick that you have to play by. You think it's different from the Saturn and PS1 versions? Tony? The OST of this version's better? Yeah, no, I don't agree with that. I think the Super Nintendo soundtrack fits much, much better. Half the music in this game sounds like elevator music. But, you know, to each their own. That's that is one thing I really like about having these multiple versions of X3 is, you know, they have different qualities between them. You know, the quote-unquote upgraded music of the Saturn and PS1 and this version. And then you got the original Super Nintendo one. It's cool. So for this guy, you don't want to shoot him when he's got that barrier. He'll get his health back if you do. So what I do is hit him once like that, wait for him to start shooting, then hit him again. It's a pretty tedious fight. Timu, is there a weakness for him? Just out of curiosity. Oops. Acid. Okay. I guess that's acid right there. Oh yeah, that does a lot of damage. Oh, come on. Yeah, I mean, maybe you can charge it up. I don't know. Yeah, we don't have the Z-Saber, Tony. Kind of hard to use something you don't have. Ow, whoa. I somehow got bumped off the wall. I think that was just I think I just hit something wrong on the controller. And that's it. And then the next stage is going to be Sigma, and then that's pretty much the end of the game. So for those of you guys that know how to do this, how do you get the Z-Saber? Because I've never actually gotten it before. Is that the thing that involves fighting the optional bosses? I assume it does. Alright. So this is it. So just a little short stretch here leading up to Sigma. The mini-boss only appears if Vile is dead. Okay. Beat Vile with his weakness. You kill Vile with his weakness, then swap to 0 before the mini-boss in Doppler 2. Okay. Alright, so I use a little exploit against Sigma. And it should be noted that whenever you die at Sigma, you have to go through his text crawl all over again. So I basically use my fully charged, upgraded shot. Now I'm actually kind of interested to know what this is like without... And then he's going to have a second phase where he throws his shield up. As long as you stay on this this wall here, you're fine. But the third phase, his shield is going to go even higher on the screen. And for that, you'll have to hug the corners. There it is. Yeah, he's weak to the spinning blade, but I found that it's really tough to deal with. So I just don't even bother. So this is the part where we need to hug the corners, like so. Just like that. The fire works like the yellow devil pattern, except it's way faster. And you have less screen space to dodge. I just stay up top like that. Although, doing this fight without the boots and without the upgraded buster, I think would be really difficult, come to think of it. Alright, so for his second form here, we need to hit above his head. The hitbox is above his head. It's kind of weird. I did not mean to do that. Crap. Alright, go ahead and use a sub-tank. And that was actually a pretty smooth fight for the most part up to that point, and I started taking lots of hits. And there we go. I'm gonna go ahead and use another sub-tank, just in case I get hit here. Might just be the music, Timo. I'm not sure. So for this part, we have to rush up to the top, and Virus, Sigma, whatever he's called, will try to run into you. But I found that if you hug the top of the screen like this, it's a little bit easier. So you can actually die instantly here if you're not careful, and then you have to do the whole fight over again. It's a really annoying way to end this game, to be honest with you. I'm not a fan of it myself. Oh, see? Oh, crap. It's so dumb. Oh, it is so dumb. Okay, we didn't die. That's fine. I'll stop complaining. I will stop complaining. That's one of the worst parts of this game. And it's actually one of the worst parts of any X game, if you ask me. It's not even because of the part itself inherently. It's that you have to do the Sigma fight over again if you fail at that last part. Yeah, no, the lower end charge shots I think are a lot better on Sigma. Either level 1 or level 2. Level 2 in particular, because you get a lot of, you know, you do a couple blocks of damage. But level 3 and level 4, not really that good. But that's it. So, you know, we beat the game. Hey, James, welcome back, man. Hope you're doing well today. Yeah, Timo, and I'd imagine that happens more frequently than anyone would like to admit. We'll see if the full motion video ending shows up fine. It was glitched out yesterday. Right at the end again, yeah. Well, it wouldn't be the end if I was playing a longer game, but this game is pretty short. I mean, 2 hours and 16 minutes. Yeah, Zero's skin tone is a little bit darker than X's in this. So yeah, Mega Man X3 for PC. So the thing about some of these old Capcom PC games is they're not super common, and they're not super cheap. Like Mega Man X1 is pretty cheap, because I think it probably sold pretty decently. There's always a ton of them on the market. X3 on PC does not pop up for sale as often, though. So if you end up finding a copy, you'll probably end up having to pay like $20 or $25 for it. Not even complete with the big box. The big box is probably going to be a lot more. These were released in Japan on PC, though, so you can also get the Japanese versions. I know there's a couple of Rockman X3s Japanese on eBay right now for PC. But yeah, if you have an old retro PC, I do recommend playing this version of the game, especially if you have a good USB controller. Or mainly if you have a good USB controller. If you're just playing keyboard only, then I would skip it. But yeah, it looks nice. It loads really fast. It's cool. So if you want to play the Saturn or PS1 versions of the game, but you have an old retro PC setup, and this is the better way to do it. It's very snappy, and yeah, it just loads faster, so it's nice. So yeah, I mean, I don't think the music is bad in this, per se. I just don't think it fits it as well as the Super Nintendo soundtrack. So, hey, Chris, thank you for those Swedish krona. I appreciate it, sir. Yeah, I mean, I just prefer the Super Nintendo soundtrack, but this soundtrack is still fine. It's not rockin', though, like you expect from a Mega Man game, a Mega Man X game in particular. I think that's one of the big issues with this soundtrack in particular. I do think, like, the guitars and even Super Nintendo grunge guitars work better for this kind of game. But that's just me. Yeah, Mega Man X3, pretty cool game. You know, like I said, it's not my favorite, but I'm glad I was able to go through it again on YouTube. I've been wanting to play through the game again for a while. And since we did X4 on PC, I really wanted to do the PC version of X3. So what I'm going to also do is I'm going to try to get a copy of PC X5 sometime. So the next time we play through a Mega Man X game here, it's probably going to be X5. And it'll be the PC version. Assuming the game doesn't crash or anything like that. Although I'd assume that version is probably more stable than this. Based on the X4 PC port. I don't know. So, yeah, hopefully I can obtain a copy of that sometime soon. I'd like to do that soon. And then I'd like to track down that official licensed X6 PC port as well, released in Korea. Unfortunately, I can't get the DOS version of Mega Man X to work. It always crashes after the first level. No error message, no nothing. And it does it on both my 95 and 98 machines. So I don't know what to do with that one. I'm at a loss. There's not much online about troubleshooting it. Yeah, I just have no idea. But, you know, if I ever do get that one working, I would love to cover that here. It's choppier than the Super Nintendo version, but it's still interesting to play through, and I would love to cover that on YouTube, so... If anyone out there has any advice for that one, let me know. And like we talked about earlier, I do plan on doing Mega Man 1 and 3 for DOS eventually. So that's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. So, that'll be interesting, to say the least. But yeah, that's the ending. So, you know, like I said, like with the Saturn and PS1 versions, you get the bonus of having the FMV. Hey, Anson, yeah, you're late. Late to the party. We're about to wrap up here. This is kind of a short stream. I didn't expect it to be very long. And then, there was a load screen for like a split second. I mean, I understand why the load screen's there. Like, if I was running this on a much slower computer, it would be there for a purpose, but it would be nice if it could somehow detect, like, how fast the system is and just get rid of the load screen completely. But yeah, if we were playing the Saturn or PS1 versions, we would have seen that load screen a lot. But we pretty much never saw it on this playthrough. Oh man. I'm so tempted to go through this game again without the upgrades, like Timu was saying. That could be interesting. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to do that here, though. Because I don't even... Honestly, I don't think I'll survive at the end of the game, to be frank. But maybe I'll go live on Twitch in a little bit and try it again. We'll see. So, thank you guys for hanging out. I appreciate it. Let me get my monitors situated here. Alright, now I'm gonna try something different here. I'm gonna see, if anyone else is streaming on YouTube right now that I follow. And no one I'm following is streaming right now. It's something I need to start doing more often lately. Or in the future, I should say, is, checking out to see who else is streaming. Try to get some gameplay and talk raids on. But yeah, that's gonna do it for the stream, guys. Doesn't look like we dropped too many frames, so I'm not gonna do the separate local recording upload. This should be up tomorrow. Maybe even sometime late tonight, honestly. This shouldn't take that long to process, because it's only a couple hours long. But yeah, I appreciate you guys hanging out. Not the biggest turnout, but, you know, we had constant chat the whole night, which was good, or the whole stream. So I hope you enjoyed this surprise stream. A gameplay and talk raid would be epic. Well, only mildly epic. We only have about 20 people watching right now. And how many of those people would actually follow over to the next stream, who knows. But it's something I would like to do in the future. Usually when I end my stream, though, it's the middle of the night and no one else is streaming on YouTube. But since it's just Saturday afternoon or Saturday night right now, I figured someone would be streaming, but I don't see anyone. So yeah, it's about 8:30 at night. Yep, see ya, Manfred. Take care. And yeah, I'm not really sure what else to say. So again, appreciate all the support, guys. Hope you enjoyed the stream. And I'll be back next Thursday with our regularly scheduled programming. I think, I'm not sure yet, but I think I might do the Sega PC variety stream on Thursday, which is basically going to be showing off a bunch of different Sega PC titles from the 90s. So stuff like House of the Dead, Virtua Cop 1 and 2, Sega Rally, Daytona USA, the Sonic & Knuckles collection, Panzer Dragoon, Sonic 3D Blast, stuff like that. Yeah, so it should be a decently length variety stream. It should be fun. I have a lot of Sega titles here I've picked up recently, and it should definitely be interesting. So yeah, I think I'm going to do that on Thursday so I can get that knocked out. That's right, I've also got Virtua Fighter and the Sega Smash Pack as well. Yeah, so watch out for that on Thursday. Should be a good stream. If I have any other short games that I just happen to beat, I might be back with another Saturday stream. We'll see. So, alrighty guys, that's going to do it for me. I will probably be live on Twitch shortly. I'm thinking about trying to go out and get some drinks, and then try to get some food that's going to last me the rest of the night too. Maybe I'll order from Domino's. But then after that, I'll probably go live on Twitch. This is my last night off from work, so I've got to go back to work tomorrow. So I'm going to try to stay up all night and stream some more. Most likely, just not on YouTube. But yeah, take it easy, guys. Have yourselves a fantastic day or night wherever you are in the world. And as usual, until the next one, take it easy.